Hello people, welcome back to the channel again. This is a quick unboxing of the Plantronics Voyager 5200 UC, which is the latest revision of this series. I think the Voyager Legend is the one that's prior to this. And this has a date code of October 20. So advisably get the latest stock if you can be. Okay, so let's get to the bottom of it. Sadly, there's a bit of a washout because of the lighting in my iTCXreme, and these are just poxy Logitech cameras that I'm using to do all the recording basically. Alright, so let's unbox this. What do we get first of all is the main charging case with all the headset and the accessories in there. But before we move on to that, let's have a look at what else we get in the box. Okay, so that is a quick start guide. And it's sort of alright, I'm gonna have to do this a bit closer because of the stupid backlight basically that's washing everything out. Alright, that's what you get. Excuse me. 2 additional earbuds, one large and one small, and the medium one comes pre-installed, I believe. Micro USB charging cable. Now sadly Type C, I would have expected something with the Type C, but it's not. It's still micro USB. And then various other warranty and compliance informations and things like that for the Trip Wii regulations, whatever it is basically. So that's that. So let's shove them back in here and get to the let's put this to a side. So what do we get here? Alright, look at the wrapping on. Okay, and here we are. Right, this is what we're looking at. The latest release has a red button here. There's a button on this side somewhere here. There it is. Okay, and obviously that can swivel either way, so you can use it on your left ear or your right ear, basically. There's a bit of a red finishing on just inside these vents basically. That makes it look quite neat. Black and red goes quite brilliantly. Now the thing is, this is more like an anodized kind of a color, so that's pretty smart. Nice and rubbery. You can feel the quality on it. Those are nice and soft. Your on and off button is here. That's your on and off button, and those are your volume up and volume down button basically. So, and this will only move up to, I would say, about that much. So let's yeah, so the movement is about 180 degree basically, just so that you can pick and choose whichever ear that it needs to go on or you're comfortable with. Okay, so let's put this to a side for a moment. This is the carrier case with the charging facility, which already has a built-in battery. That is your USB dongle for your PC, and I think there's a button here. Okay, and when you press that button, that lights up the LED indicator here just to show you how much charge the case has left. The micro USB port is here. I'm not unwrapping it at the moment, taking all this wrapping off at the moment. I haven't decided whether to keep this or not, so that's that. Okay, so I'm going to leave this out. Right, so what do I think of this? Okay, first thing first is that I've tried all 3 of these earbuds basically, and sadly this is not something for me. And the reason why I say this is it feels like it's going to pop out the ear basically, and it's going to drop. You know, maybe my ears are not the right shape or whatever it is. I mean, it might be me rather than the thing, but I'm a little bit disappointed with the fact that you know, such an expensive, you know, you're looking at anything in the region of 130 to 250 quid for something like this, brand new from Amazon. You would have expected this to have a snug fit, virtually like a magnet sitting on your ear basically, that you know, it's not going to shift or move. But even when you're walking around within your household, it feels like that it's going to pop out and it's going to drop off basically. So my main purpose of this was to actually use it for my YouTube stream. So when I'm working with the Jovi or I'm moving around in the workshop, I would like to utilize this and be free from the cable headset. What I'm using, the Sennheiser PC8, that's what I'm using. I picked that up for silly money basically off Amazon, and obviously the following day, as I mentioned on my previous video, the prices have actually gone up basically, I should say. So what's next? Okay, during my test phase, first thing first I had to do is unpack it, update all the download all the softwares, 3 softwares, and I'll sort of see if I can what are these? Okay, so Plantronic Hub, Plantronic Lens, and Plantronic Status Indicator. Those are the 3 applications that I installed on the PC. Now, I was that much away from just literally wrapping this and then whizzing it back basically to the seller. Now, you're probably wondering why. What it was doing, he was doing a lot of crackling on the initial setup, initial use, up to several hours, and I was really frustrated basically. So what I've done is I've restarted the computer, did all the thing, and I don't know what this was all this messing about was, all this crackling and hissing and all this business, but it eventually settled. So there is a settlement time. I would have expected something like this is plug and play and it works right out of the box basically, but it didn't for me. There was a lot of hissing, a lot of this, a lot of that basically. So I've had to go onto my sound setup and input for the input. Let me sort of tell you exactly what I had to do basically for the microphone basically. So your input for your sound. Recording, under recording. So under when you click on the Windows 10 or any Windows operating system, if you right click onto where the bottom right hand corner speaker icon is, it'll come up and give you an option basically. So for example, on the Windows 10, you've got open sound settings, open volume mixer, and then you've got your spatial sound off, sound, and then troubleshoot sound problems. So you select sound. When you select sound, you've got 4 tabs: playback, recording, sound, and communication. So we're looking at the recording side of it basically, and on that I had to disable any other devices that may be enabled apart from the this Plantronic one basically. And I believe that this may have been the root cause of all this hissing and all that nonsense, but I just can't confirm that. But after doing that, couple of restarts, and then it just settled down and it starts sort of recording the voice quite clearly. So there will be a comparison. I will be doing a comparison with it basically. So I'll hook up this and I'll disable the Sennheiser PC8 and give you a bit, just speak to you and see what you think. So after I've installed the PC suite, the three that I've mentioned before, I've actually connected this device, left it in the box, and did the firmware update basically. Okay, so obviously that was done through the software, which was absolutely brilliant. The way I did that is basically handset got the earpiece headset goes in the box, that gets connected to the PC, and what I also did is I actually sort of connected this hardwired onto the back of the PC basically. Just didn't want to take any risk while it's flashing, that any sort of communication errors or whatever it is. So that's how I did the firmware, was hardwired into the back of the PC basically. So that's that. Let's move on to the sound testing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now switch over from my Sennheiser PC8 onto this basically. So if you just bear with me, I'm going to plug this into one of my USBs. Okay. Yes, I did Windows right, and I'm going to power it on. Okay. Now I think for the pairing, there is an option somewhere where you've got to sort of hold for pairing. Now when you look at this bit, those are each button what it does basically. All right. So there is a there is one thing I missed out actually, is these are the pins for the charging that sort of connects on the actual docking on this box base carrier box. So you can have it, if it's on the desk, you can actually put it on the top like that, and just let it sit and charge. Or if you're traveling, you can put it inside and it'll also charge. But also, if you don't have this box, there is an option that you can buy, and it's about £107 just for this and the USB, and possibly these will come with it as well. Is that there is a little cover here that you can unlatch, and that will expose the micro USB port for you to charge it with this, basically. So that's one thing. The other thing is, let's have a look. So it says here that it supports Alexa as well. That bit here, when you touch this or hit this red button, basically. Also, that's part of mute as well. As I said before, those are the top buttons. Your speaker volume up and down. This is your Siri and Google Now. This button, there's a button here as well. Okay, and obviously that's your on and off button. Is there anything else I'm just missing out? Just give me one sec. Yeah, so the pairing mode is that you obviously you've got to turn on your Bluetooth on your phone, and then you hold this for 4 seconds, this button at the back, which is this one there, for about 4 seconds, and once you've done that, you can then sort of pair it up. And with the phone, it was very easy, basically. Now, one thing you must remember is pay attention to this. If you're actually swapping out these earbuds, you need to actually it twists to a certain, say, about 180 degree, it twists, okay? But then if you want to unlatch it, hold it and just click it, and you'll feel that click. That's when this thing comes out. So these two little studs have to line up here, basically. But there is a little latch inside that sort of makes sure that this doesn't pop out, basically. And when you click it in, it's locked in. So here it says if you click it towards your right, it locks in. If you click it, or turn it, I should say, if you turn it towards your right, it locks in. When you turn it anti-clockwise, it unlocks and it allows you to swap out the earpieces, basically. So there you go. Alright, so let me swap over. So I'm going to mute them out, Mike, just for a moment. Just bear with me. Alright. Right, okay, so this is the recording that's been taken place with the Plantronic Voyager 5200 UC. Now, a couple of things is that once you're using the PC, this little thing, this let me see if I can. This will keep on flashing and blue, and that means that it's connected, basically. Now, the beautiful thing about this the Plantronic is that there's a voice. It'll tell you that you know which devices is connected. So, for example, at the moment I've connected to my phone as well as the PC. So it says PC connected, phone 1 connected. Okay, so that's one thing, basically, that's very nice of them to do that. Now I'm debating whether to keep it or not, because there's quite a lot of money there, but at the same time I would have expected that it feels secure in your ears, and that's my only complaint, basically, apart from the hissing and all this business that took place right at the beginning, which I found it really annoying, basically. But what I did do is as I said before, that I've updated all the firmware, make sure that it's got the latest firmware, so if there is any sort of issues with the device, those have been sort of rectified with the latest firmware. However, coming, again, just repeating what I've already said, the only complaint I have is that it just feels like it's just going to pop out of your ear, and it does become loose. Now, I've tried it with all 3 earpieces, and I just could not get my head around as to why it's doing what it's doing. So it's more for stationary, it's more for traveling in your car, in your truck, whatever it is. I do a lot of cycling, and sadly this earpiece is absolutely no for cycling, because I know it's going to pop out of the ear. As I'm walking from one room to another, it feels like it's just going to pop out and drop. So if you guys can share a bit of thought as to why it's doing what it's doing and where I'm going wrong, then at least that'll give me the opportunity to rectify and keep this headset. Because don't get me wrong, it's a nice headset. It's comfortable to wear, but it just feels like it's going to pop out of my ear and just drop basically. So that's where we're at. You know, we live and learn every day. So I would like to hear it from anybody that can sort of give me a bit of advice, what's going on, apart from anybody making any silly comments and saying just stick it with a bit of a double-sided tape or a super glue in your ear or something like that, something as stupid as that. You know, but anyway, what obviously the sound quality between the two. This is 150 up to 150 quid. This is the Sennheiser PC8 is just a very basic conference headset, basically stereo with a microphone, wired, and it does have its own noise cancellation thing. So you can compare the sound quality between the two. It's just sadly that if I was to keep the Sennheiser PC8, I'm restricted from moving around freely, you know, and just one of those things. Now, what I will do is I will be doing a little test as to the distance and what sort of quality the sound is. So I'll continue talking to yourself. So I'm going to walk away round about, say, 1 meter now. So this is about 1 meter away from my desk and my main PC on the workbench. Now I'm moving away a bit more, and I think this is roughly about 2 meters away. Just obviously I can't hear what's being recorded, but you can be the judge of that, basically. So now I'm going to try and do 3 meters. So just bear with me. Okay, let's move into the next room. So I would say from my PC, this is about 3 meter. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear me all right, if there's any crackling, whatever it is, I do not know. Okay, so let's move on to 4 meters now. So this is roughly about 4 meter distance, and there is no notification to say that it's disconnected at the moment. So let me move up to about 5 meter. This is about 5 meter distance from the actual PC. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not going to be traveling around, and I mean, when I say I'm not going to be moving around that far of a distance while I'm utilizing this headset, basically. So I'm going to move a bit further away. I would say about roughly about 6 meters here. And that's, yeah, roughly I'd say about 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, roughly about 6 meters away. And I hope that you can hear me, but there is no notification yet for the, it does say 33 feet. But what happened was, the reason why I'm doing this walk test is that when I initially set this up and had a look at it, it actually disconnected within just out of range of 3 meters. And that actually took me by surprise, basically. So now I'm going to move on to the end of the next room, at the back, basically, virtually the second room back wall, basically. So that's roughly about, say, 8 meters away, and that's as far as I can go, basically. You know, so I hope you guys can hear me, and I hope that the clarity of the voice quality is very clear. I'm going to walk back again slowly, and take it from there, basically. So I'm walking into the middle room, and then I'm probably roughly about 3 meters away, coming back, and here I am. I'm right onto my workbench. So I don't know what the quality was, but it didn't lose its signal like it did on the initial setup. So there seems to be some form of settlement time on this on this Plantronic Voyager 5200 UC. Now, don't get me wrong. I have taken a couple of video recordings with it. I can't do a review or any sort of advice or thought process, whatever it is, until I've utilized the device myself. Okay, and yes, the quality seemed to be good, to my understanding, but sadly, it just feels like it's just going to pop out of the ear. I just don't know why, unless my biological, there's an issue on my side with the ears not being big enough or whatever. Maybe that might be the case, but I would have thought that this is the reason why they supply you with 3 different earbud size. So you've got the small, medium, and large. Basically, that's what you have. One gets pre-fitted. The medium one is pre-installed on the actual headset, basically. So that's all really. I will swap over to my Sennheiser PC8 now, and I'll switch this off. So just bear with me while I do that. Right, sorry, I had to pause the video for a second or two. For some reason, the Sennheiser microphone stopped working, basically. It's always the case, isn't it? So, yeah, so here we are with the Sennheiser, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, microphone and Sennheiser microphone, I should say, okay. So that's literally it, basically. By the way, when the handset is headset is disconnected, the light stops flashing and it just goes on and off mode, basically. So that's how you sort of try and establish. Now there is a pairing button. I did sort of forget to mention. There's a little pairing button here that you may have to press on your initial setup if the blue light is not blinking, basically. You may have to hold this, and there is also a button here somewhere. Let's have a look. I believe it's either this one or that one. It's one or the other. You'll probably have to refer to the manufacturer's instruction just to see. Headset sensor, right? Okay, configuring reset charge. So there's various instructions with this leaflet, and there you go. If you want to read this, read it, then pause the video for a second too, and you can read through that. And there will be a pairing button out of them too, basically, that you'll have to hold for the PC pairing, basically. I believe there is a video up there somewhere on YouTube that does sort of show you how to do that. Other than that, that's the audio quality, microphone recording quality, what you would get from this Plantronic. And I did a walk test as well, up to around about 7 meters, 8 meters, whatever it was. That's just an estimated distance. That's all really. So let me know what you think of this, and furthermore, if you can advise me of anything else that you can think of, then please do let me know. And stay well, stay safe, all the best, and I'll catch up with you on my next video. Bye for now.